adjust you a little bit. Okay. What's up, YouTube family? It's your boy Built for Anything, and let me tell you something. Today is a good day. Okay, today's a good day because what I'm realizing through a lot of reading through a lot of social networks, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, I'm seeing a lot of people are converting and transitioning to veganism and changing their diet, plant-based. The latest famous person I'm hearing about is Neo. He just decided that he's going completely cold turkey. He's transitioning after watching What the Health. And that's what this video is about. I wanted to talk about the importance of documentaries and why I think documentaries are so successful at transitioning people from eating meat over to eating a plant-based diet. Now, I'm actually someone who was converted through documentaries. If you follow my channel, I mentioned before the way I became vegan was I was home, it was winter time, and I started watching documentaries, and one documentary just led to the next. I believe at the time it was Cowspiracy, and I started watching Earthlings, and then it just kind of snowballed. And as I was watching it, I was looking up information as well, and before I know it, it just opened up a whole new world for me. It's information that I wasn't seeing anywhere else. So for me, it was like I started to question a lot of things. Like, why is it that, I don't see any commercials talking about this stuff. I don't see any large advertisements, suggesting, what's been going on and how we can prevent certain diseases. And just this whole aspect of veganism, it was bigger than just a diet for me. It was about the animals. It was about the environment, the planet, all these things that I didn't hear about. And what I realize is that the way we consume content today is at a rapid all-time high. Like, most people don't want to have to read books. Because when I think about What the Health and documentaries like Cowspiracy, a lot of the information that's in there is documented. Like, you can read certain books from certain people that is expressing the exact same things. But we live in a society in an age where it's much easier to YouTube something. It's much easier to Google something. It's much easier to listen to a podcast. It's much easier to watch a documentary and absorb a lot of information as opposed to sitting there and reading a book. Because everybody wants things on demand. And that's what's good about Netflix and Amazon and all these. Everything is on demand. And so documentaries are able to reach a lot of people. And by reaching a lot of people, you're in the comfort of your own home. You're sitting down uninterrupted. You're able to really zone in and visualize and watch a documentary, and taking this information, it's either going to spark some sort of emotion in you that's going to cause you to want to research. Like, I'm hearing, there are people that are trying to debunk it, which they always try to do. And, it's gonna cause you to do one or two things. It's gonna strike some sort of emotion in you, which is what it did for me. Especially if you're one of those people who's been on the fence and just kind of needed that push. And so that's why I think visualization is so important. I think it's key that, there would be, I wish there could be commercials, some more series that is surrounded around veganism and not just veganism, but just talking about the transition and the good and the bad. Like I said before, transitioning to being vegan today is a lot easier than it was a couple years ago. But it's still hard today because when you look at it from a society standpoint, you're up against a lot. Like, you're really, it's not easy for anybody to just stop and completely denounce everything that they've been taught. It's a really big eye-opening experience, and it's very daunting. And so I understand that everybody doesn't go cold turkey or just turn that switch on, but it's good to start stepping in the right direction, right? And that's why documentaries are important, and that's why I truly feel that the more exposure that veganism gets, where it's part of your everyday, right? Because again, who doesn't watch Netflix? Who doesn't watch documentaries? So this is just part of it. I think about athletes. You know, if your favorite athlete came out and said, the reason why I'm able to perform the way I'm able to perform is because of me changing this diet, that's a bigger impact than somebody who you don't know is telling you, hey, you should do this, or maybe you should consider doing that. You're not going to take what they say into consideration. And so that's why I say it's very important, and I get excited when I see prominent figures come out and say this, because I know that they have a following, and that following is going to start to second guess the things that they are being taught. And it's all about just diving into the information and then making your own decision. That's all I'm saying. You know, if we can get to a point where we're willing to do our own research, at some point you will look at it and say, man, you know, like I can't know all of this and continue to eat the way that I'm eating. It's just, to me, it's a 1-2 thing. It's a 1-2 punch, you know? So the reason why a lot of people feel comfortable eating the way that they're eating is because they don't know the information. And some people don't want to know the information because they are compassionate. It would question their beliefs. And some people don't want to face that task. And that's okay. You know, over time, you know, I hope that the transition could be a lot easier. But I think it can be easier when we have documentaries, we have prominent figures like a Neo, among other people who are openly, willingly saying, I'm willing to change my diet because of the information that I just saw. And so I hope that there's going to be more documentaries. I hope there's more I hope there's not even commercials. I just hope that there's, I just feel like as a vegan myself, that I wish that the community can sort of meet these corporations on their level. And what I mean is, you got to be able to play their game. We got to be able to play to our strengths, but we got to understand that we have platforms like YouTube. We have platforms like Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Start organizations, you know, start programs that can help people transition. Make it safe, a safe environment for people to be a part of. And I hope, you know, as someone who enjoys filmmaking, you know, I hope one day to contribute to maybe setting up some sort of a series that shows and documents people of my color, my background, showing the transition, the pros, the cons, the highs, the lows of making a decision like this, and how important it is to make that decision for yourself, right? So again, guys, I'm very excited to hear about it. It's your boy Built for Anything. Peace and love. And if you haven't watched What the Health, I definitely recommend it. It's on Netflix. I think it's free. It's on YouTube as well. Take a look at it. If you have, let me know what you think about it down below. Share this video with anybody who's on the fence. It's your boy Built for Anything. Peace and love. I'll catch you on the next video. I'm out.